Actually missed one. Cardinal Energy. So Cardinal Energy, for you guys who don't know, is a oil and gas company in Saskatchewan and Alberta, Canada. Focus on sustainable future. They are in the TSX 30 2022. They do yield over 10% as long as you buy it below 720. You can get a 10% yield, and we're gonna go over why I think it's super sustainable. The financial report, their last one, they are they are gonna be releasing one relatively soon. But let's go over this. So, right off the bat, dividends, you guys can see right here, they did not pay it for 1 year. They just stopped paying it. That was to reduce their debt, which we're going to see up above. Where are we exactly? I'm so confused. Okay, let's go to the top. So this is their Q3. Q4 is coming out, I believe, in March, a month from now. Assets to liabilities, you guys can see this. Total assets is, I believe, this is in millions? In thousands. Okay, so there you go. So they have $1 billion of assets. Liabilities, $222 million. And most of that, their bank debt. Look at the reduction right here. I really hope I'm not blocking it. I am blocking it. Let's hide that. Okay. Bank debt. So they stopped paying a dividend to knock down their debt, and this is why. They went from $142 million to $42 million. Look at the difference that made in liabilities. Now, on top of that, you really want to see the assets be significantly more than liabilities, which we're all good there, so nothing to worry about. Treasury shares, deficits, you know, all that stuff, whatever. Revenue, baby! 142 compared to 97, so it did go up, which is good. Operation also went up by about 10 million. Finance is reduced by 2 mil. Pretty much it. Earnings per share, I believe last year for the 3 months was significantly more. Something must have happened here. But yeah. So, purchase of shares, which they are starting to do for RA and PA settlements, common share issued. And yeah, share-based compensation. Nothing except for whatever this line is. Contributed surplus, note 11. Dividend, $20 a share, or 20 cents a share, sorry. As you guys can see, just nothing. Operating activities. So they do all this stuff. We don't really care too much. If you guys really want to go over this, feel free. Property acquisition, like almost nothing. Financing, dividends, baby. Share issuance. They did issue a very small amount of shares. Honestly, not something I'm too worried about. Repayment. So this is a big one. Repayment on acquired debt. 14 mil. So number 5 is when they go over their debt and everything. Bank debt. The company's reserves-based revolving facility credit of 185 million. This comprised of 165 million term credit facility and a 20 million operating line credit facility. They break it down. Where do they say it? Here you go. Cardinal was in compliance with the terms of the facilities at September 30th of 2022 for the 9 months ending. The interest rate on the company's bank debt was 5.2%. In 2021, it was 6%. So they're paying down a huge amount of their debt, which is good. Security notes, don't really care. Leasing, don't really care. Decommissioning, don't care. Warrants, don't care. Earnings per share, don't care. I know they have a payout ratio somewhere in here. Or it might be the MDA. So yeah, so here's everything. You have crude oil, NGL, I gotta double check what that is. Petroleum, natural gas, revenue, and then natural gas. And then just risk management. Really don't care too much about it. Okay, so here you go. Contractual obligations. Dividends paid. Basically nothing. Because they did bring back their dividend just recently when this report came out, so that's why it's so low. Lease liability, you guys can see right there. And in their bank debt, it's not due until 2024, so they have an entire year before this comes into effect. Okay, so it is the MD... MD and A. Dividends declared. Where's your payout ratio? I know they have it on here. Okay, right here. Here we go. This should knock it down. Okay, yeah, they do. So here's their debt for the bank that they owe. Secured notes, which is nothing for the 12 months of 2022. Adjusted working capital deficiency. Net debt. So this is their net debt. Look at that reduction. 178.62. Cash flow from operations, significantly higher than last year, which is awesome. Change in non-working capital cash. Fund flow, significantly higher than last year. Decommissioning and obligation expenditures is up a decent amount. We're talking... it's like almost 3 times. Transactional cost, adjusted fund flow, very high. Net debt to adjusted fund flow. So, what this means, if you have no idea, is the adjusted fund is basically broken down from all this fun stuff. Come on, finish up. There we go. So, if they were to make this amount this year, for an entire year, in 0.2 of that time, they'd be debt-free. Compared to last year, it would take them a year and whatever 0.3 is. I think that's only 2? No, it'd be like 4 months-ish. So, basically, year, 4 months. Now, we're probably looking at like 3, 3.5, whatever that would be here. I'm just going to bring up a calculator because that's going to bug me now. 12 divided by 0.2. Oh, shoot. Wrong one. 2 divided by 12. It's like a month and a half, pretty much. So, let's go to payout ratio. There it is. So, payout ratio for the 3 months ending was 59% on a 10% yield. Going back here, 3 months last year was only 44%. For the 9 months, we're looking at 39% compared to last year. They were paying 41%, a reduction of 5%. Tell me this company's at risk when they're reducing debt. They've lowered their payout ratio for the last 9 months, and they're bringing in more than enough cash to easily pay off their debt, pay a dividend. The debt has been reduced by 62%. Like, it's insane, everybody. Look at this. Average bank debt reduced by 64%. Interest rate, bank debt, 6% compared to 5.7. 5% increase. But this company has been hammering debt. Now, if we go into the dividends of Cardinal Energy, so we're going to go to dividend history. Cardinal Energy, there you go. You guys are going to see they started paying in July. They hiked it in November, and it's stayed the same since. Now, you're going to notice there's a pretty big gap. We're talking about 2 years and 4 months in between. This is so they could start tackling their debt, because it got so big they had to cut the dividends, attempted to raise it, and then realized, guys, the debt's so bad we have to just get rid of the dividend. Then they brought it back, then they hiked it, and now they're planning to do share buybacks, div hikes, and everything when the debt is reduced even more. So, overall, this is why this thing is like my second largest holding, and it's my only other holding currently, because one, I got it underneath a 7.2. Sorry, my average. Let's see what my average is. High yield test portfolio. I believe this is up to date. Yeah, it is. So, 719, 1197. So, it's 37% of my portfolio, which I know is very risky, but because I had to sell a huge chunk of my portfolio, I'm choosing to buy this one because debt massively reduced, Very stable payout ratio. There's nothing wrong with this company I can see. Instead of paying those large special dividends like Exxon and Shell, here, we can even do this. Where's Exxon? So we look at Exxon. Oh, really? There's no... Who's paid the special dividends then? Was it Shell? Okay, I can't find it, but I remember there was some special dividends getting paid out by oil companies. But Cardinal, instead of paying out special dividends, focused on trimming their debt significantly. And I feel that towards the end of this year, they should be, like, 0 debt. And then from there, just going crazy on everything else. Year to date, this stock has performed abysmal, by the way. You're barely up compared to June 3rd. And you guys can see it ran all the way up to almost $8. Got rejected, went straight back down. I feel like this is a good company. Unless, like, you know, gas prices drop off a cliff like crude oil right now. Drops off a freaking cliff. I don't see anything wrong that could, like, affect it that much. So, that's my reasoning behind it. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown of Cardinal Energy. I am not going to promise anything going forward just because, you know, life gets in the way, work gets in the way. But yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!